And finding time between dominant starts, the big righty joins us now. Joe Musgrove here on HQ. Joe, first off, big congratulations on a career achievement coming out in front of you here. We'll get to it all in time, but first, you're here with us on behalf of Celsius Energy Drink. Tell me about what you're drinking and how it's helped you out this season.
Yeah, dude, this is the Celsius. This is actually the Arctic Vibe, one of the newer ones. This stuff's solid, man. I mean, I'm a big coffee drinker, and sometimes on the road, it's tough for us to get coffee with day games and the scheduling and stuff. So I always throw some of these in the backpack, and 200 milligrams of energy, no sugars. So it's not like the other energy drinks that are loaded up with a bunch of stuff, and it's a little better version for you. So I've been crushing these all year this year. So it probably has something to do with the All-Star selection.
I told you in the commercial, I'm a Celsius guy myself, so I'm going to let you push your own product here, but it's good stuff, helping clear the cobwebs as we embark on whatever our work is. Let's talk about your work here. The proof is really in the punch-outs. Triple-digit Ks already, headed to L.A. for the All-Star game this coming week. You said recently in an interview, this will be your first All-Star game of any kind since you were 9 or 10 years old. How's that even possible? Take me through that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you have your little league and, pony ball all-star teams that you make. And I think the last one I made was probably 9 or 10 years old when I was playing at Tecolote out here in San Diego. And then I moved over back closer to home. I lived in El Cajon, so I moved over to Santana National right by Rio Seco and made the all-star team there 2 years in a row. But because it was at a district, I wasn't allowed to actually play in the game. So high school ball, there's no all-stars. I did some travel ball and some scout ball and stuff, but all throughout the minor leagues, I never made an all-star team. I mean, 15 and 16 were kind of the 2 years that I flew through the minor league system. My first couple of years, I dealt with some injuries, a little bit of adversity, and kind of stayed in that rookie ball realm for the first couple of years. And then in 15, I made my first full season team, and I jumped 3 levels that year. So I never logged enough innings or spent enough time in one place to make a team. And then 16, the same thing, AA, AAA, big league. So I never really had an opportunity. I had good numbers, threw really well those years, but never really accumulated enough stats at one place to make a team. So I've been pushing for, an all-star game the last 5-6 years, really trying to get there. And, I got close last year, but it was a very, very competitive league across the National League for pitching. So, a little chip on my shoulder, I guess, and just a little extra desire to come back stronger this year and make sure I, cemented myself in that game.
Well, we'll take progress over plateauing any day of the week, and here you are with that moment, days in front of you. It's not a perfect system by any means, but the vote is in the hands of the fans. To have the respect of those folks who pay their hard-earned cash to either come out to the park or for the TV package, it's got to be a special feeling knowing that there's a certain level of undeniability to what you've accomplished thus far this season.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think it's good to be recognized by the fans. I mean, I've always, put a lot of emphasis on being a good teammate and making sure I have the respect of the guys in the clubhouse and the guys across the league. But ultimately, it's an entertainment business, and we're trying to promote the organization as much as we are trying to promote ourselves. And I feel like I'm doing everything I can. I'm in San Diego too, man. I mean, I'm from here, born and raised. I love this city, and there's no team or city that I would push harder for than San Diego. So to get the respect and love back from the fans has been a really good feeling.
It's so special what you're currently in the midst of right now in the season you're putting together. The days also line up nicely for you to get the ball at some point here on Tuesday. Grand stage, Hollywood setting, national TV, best hitters on the planet opposite you. I'm always interested how someone in your position at your level processes it all. How would you describe your relationship with pressure?
I mean, you're in it so much, not only when you're on the field and under the lights in front of everybody, but, I try to emphasize putting a lot of pressure on myself to perform when I'm doing workouts, when I'm training, when I'm throwing bullpens, all the stuff behind the scenes that everyone doesn't see, so that when those moments come under the bright lights, it's a familiar place, and it's a place that you feel like you've been, you put yourself, and putting more emphasis on the workouts and the training and really pushing yourself in that aspect of it makes it a little bit easier. It feels like you get to go out there and just compete. All the work's been done. You're as prepared as you're going to be, and you get to go out and just, do what you love to do. So I put a lot of emphasis on putting myself in uncomfortable spots in the off season and throughout the work weeks in the course of the season. And it's just something that I guess you do enough of it, it starts to become second nature.
Any difference in the build-up here? Not your normal start or your normal appearance coming up on Tuesday. Any different feelings? Any different preparation to this unique scenario out in front of you?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be a busy couple days. We got to schedule this from top to bottom, from sun up to sundown, the things to do, places to be. You got the red carpet, the home run derby, all the All-Star festivities and parties. I'll have my whole family and a handful of friends up there. So it's going to be a little bit overwhelming, but the preparation is different. You're going up there to throw one inning and you don't know what inning it's going to be. So I've had some experience out of the bullpen. I'm just going to treat it like that and just try to have fun. I'm not going out there, trying to worry about numbers. It is an exhibition game. So it's out there just to put on some entertainment for the fans and have some fun. So I'm going to swing it. I'm going to do my best to go 3 up, 3 down. But I'm not trying to go out there and hurt myself trying to do something crazy.
Yeah, that is always the goal. Go out there, mow a couple down, and get on with your business. Should be a beautiful moment.
That's right.
I do want to talk about some of the things you've accomplished individually and as a team here. Talk to me about the 6-man rotation you guys got going on out there. Not to discredit anything you accomplished early in those stages of your career, but you've been cooking with gas these last couple of seasons. Do you credit any of that to the extra day, or are you itching to get the ball when day 4, day 5 does roll around?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the scenario that we've been in as a team this year, and last year we ran on a 5-man, but with the off days, oftentimes you were getting 6 days or 5 days and throwing on that 6th day. So it's not necessarily a preference one way or the other. I think you start to, adjust to whatever the schedule is. I think having 6 days, and first off, having 6 quality starters, enough pitching to be able to go 6-man rotation and trust everyone that you're giving the ball to and not just running out anybody out there just because you have the arms. We got 6 really good arms and everyone was throwing the ball well. So it got to a point where it was supposed to start out that way and you kind of figure someone's going to hit a rough stretch or an injury is going to pop up or something's going to happen and we're going to get back down to 5. And that never happened. Everyone was throwing the ball well. So it was allowing us to get deeper into games, going 7+ innings, 110+ pitches every time out. And it saves our bullpen a little bit. It allows us to go out there and compete longer in the games. And then ultimately gives us an extra day of rest on the back end. So we get to take that day after a start as just a full recovery day and do nothing but, a little cardio, some flush, a massage, maybe do some mobility, get some, movement back and range of motion. And I think that's a big thing that's kept a lot of our guys healthy this year is having that extra day to recover and get yourself ready to go again.
I mean, you take every opportunity whenever a mic's in front of you to pump up your guys. Talk to me about them. Snell, Clev, you, Mania, Gore. How much workshopping do you guys do? Is there anything specific you've taken from one of their games and added to yours?
A ton. Yeah, me and Darvish have very similar weapons. I mean, that guy's got like 11 or 12 pitches, but we pitch very similarly. I think we pitch off our breaking balls. He's very cutter heavy. I throw quite a few cutters myself. So it's nice being able to follow him in the rotation, a day or two apart from each other and watch how he attacks certain guys and see what's working and what's not working. And, we're always out there watching each other's bullpens. We're together every day in the dugout, sitting, watching the game and talking about at-bats or what's going on the field or just, shooting the breeze and talking about whatever. So I think the camaraderie and the relationships there are really strong. And then the competitiveness on the baseball side is one of the best rotations I've been in. So it's a little bit of, trusting each other and then kind of fueling each other and making it competitive, finding ways to challenge each other. And, me and Clev worked out all off season together. So we've had a handful of bullpens this year where it's fallen on the same day for us. And we've gone out for a day game at, 1 o'clock or 12:20 in St. Louis. And it's a 9:30 bullpen and no one wants to be up that early throwing a bullpen. So we find a way to add a little bit of, energy to it. And we play a little game of horse, where we're trying to execute pitches, pitch after pitch. You call a pitch out. If I hit it, he's got to hit it. And it makes it a little more fun. I think you get a little bit more out of it. And it also takes away the mindset of like, oh, I got to focus and hit this. It's just pure competition. Just go out there and have fun with it. So we're finding different ways to do it, but the guys have been really good this year. And, they've been motivating me and pushing me a ton.
A little bullpen horse. I mean, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
From that team standpoint you spoke of here, you guys currently sitting in the second wild card spot. El Nino ramping back up. Some positive news in that department. What's the vibe been like in the clubhouse heading into the break as you navigate the ups and downs of a 162-game marathon?
Yeah, I mean, this, like you said, it is ups and downs. And I think being able to manage those downs when they come and pull ourselves out of it is going to be the biggest thing. And we struggled with that last year. I think, again, this year we've gotten, hit with that injury bug this year. And, not having Toddy in the lineup from the get-go, losing Myers, losing a few of our big arms out of the bullpen. Manny having his ankle and being out 10 days. It's just a lot of things that, have happened that have diminished what we had, initially planned on having our on-field product look like and having the starting 9 look like. So our young guys have done a really good job. Some of the guys we've picked up, Mazzara, I think he's hitting 315, 320. So we've had some guys step up big and help us out. But ultimately, we just got to get healthy, and you got to try to weather the storm when you're banged up a little bit. We talked about it early in the year that, getting Toddy back is going to be like the biggest midseason acquisition, when it does happen. So, getting him back will be a big old jump start for us. But I think we're trying to get to a point where, we're playing good baseball and things are flowing when he does enter back into the lineup. And you don't want to, him to feel like he's got that pressure of having to come in and dig us out of a hole or, take on more than needs to. So right now our focus is on these next 2 games. We're trying to sweep this series going into the break, get a little momentum, get our guys rested up, and then hopefully have, Myers and, Toddy will be right behind him, have a couple of our arms back in joining us after the break.
Now, you said it right there. It's all about momentum. So let's build a little of our own right now. I want to hit you with a couple rapid fire questions. The questions are going to be short. The answers do not have to be. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Simply put, Cy Young or perfect game?
Cy Young.
Easy
Absolutely.
Favorite getaway day activity?
I've been cruising my e-bikes a lot. I got some Murph bikes at a San Clemente. My absolute favorite thing to do. I used to be a big paddleboarder. We go out to the beach a lot, but I've been cruising those things every chance I get.
Very
so
nice.
Shout out to Murph bikes.
Get out there, get active. You mentioned it earlier, known coffee enthusiast, cold brew or an Americano?
Oh, dude. I used to be a cold brew guy, but more recently I've been doing a lot more Americanos or cortados. My tradition, I'm always just a classic black coffee guy, but
I see him.
if I venture outside of that, it's usually cortado.
Rolling around with his Chemex on the road here. Got the drip
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Got to have the good coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite player growing up?
Jake Peavy. I mean, that's the reason why I wear number 44 in San Diego. Watching him growing up, I was, this young kid that had a lot of energy and, I was an emotional player, whether it was good or bad. I was a kid at a young age. I'd cry on the field. I'd scream on the field. I was just extremes on both ends. And, I always tried to channel that. And, watching a guy like Jake pitch and the energy and the fire that he pitched with, kind of gave me that reassurance that, it's okay to be yourself and, to show that emotion and to be a competitive player. And you don't got to bottle that up because a lot of times guys try to hide that and suppress that, and it ends up affecting the way you play. So, I think there is a certain level of respect that you need to play the game with, but, watching him and obviously the stuff aside is incredible, but his attitude and his mentality on the mound was something I fell in love with at a young age.
Harnessing that demon within. That's all. Biggest thing you've learned about yourself through your underwater training?
I think it brings a lot of awareness to the tendencies that you have when you get into those pressure-filled situations. And like I've said it before, but that workout class, like, the coolest thing about it is every week that you go, you're never going to beat that class. You're never going to win because you're always going to need to breathe. And, no matter how good you get at holding your breath, eventually you're going to have to come up for air. So every week I was faced with, knowing that I was going to fail. And it was about how can I get a little bit better and a little bit better. And I think it just changed my perspective on things. And it's not about always the instant results or winning everything, right away. It's about the process of how you get better over time. So that class brought a lot of awareness to me, I think.
Talk to me about out pitches, inner half cutter, backdoor slider.
There's nothing prettier than a backdoor slider, but I love getting in someone's kitchen and busting up some bats. So I'll probably go inside cutter, up and in.
There is no wrong answer to that question. And from a moose to a muss, we're wishing you the best of luck next week and beyond, Joe. We appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy every moment, man.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it, man.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Taking a look at Joe Musgrove, the domination that has been in his 7th season here, second with the Padres. And remember, a year ago, he did collect the first no-hitter in Padres history, a World Series champion back with the Astros. And he's heading to the All-Star game this season to make some noise amongst the pest.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.